Hi everyone, you're welcome back to Data Nest with Angie. So yeah, in our previous class, we learned about the logical operators like and, or, and in. So today we'll be learning how to search text in SQL. We're going to be using the like clause and also wildcards. And we'll be doing this practically using the pgadmin 4. Yeah. So if you have ever asked, what if I don't know the exact name or value? That's when you're working with SQL. Then this lesson is for you. So first of all, I have my pgadmin open and I'm going to connect to my PostgreSQL database. I'm going to expand this. So we are working with DVD renter, right? It's already expanded. Yeah, we have to go to our schemas to see our tables. Yeah. So this is our table. Just right click on your DVD rental, right? Right click on it to query to start writing your query. So you're going to right click on your database, which is DVD rental, and we're going to query this now. For this particular lesson, I'll be using the customer table. Let's scroll down. I'll be using our customer table. Yeah, so let's run this first. Select. We want to see everything from our customer table, right? From customer. Let's see what the columns that we have. So you highlight to execute. Let's first see what this data looks like before we'll be filtering anything. So we have customer ID, we have store ID, first name, last name, we have email, we have address, we have active bool, we have create date, last update, and active. So we have first name and last name, which is perfect. Yeah. So we have what we call a like clause. So when you're filtering data in SQL, you also use your like clause alongside your where clause. Remember, your filtering clause is where, right? Yes. So we have logical operators when you want to filter data. Logical operators like your and, your or, your in. We also have another operator called the like, right? The like clause is used when we want to search for a pattern, not an exact text. Remember in our previous class when we use when, right, where the where clause, we search for an exact value with that, right? We put an exact value with that. But this time around, the like clause does what? It searches for a pattern for you. So for example, let's find all customers which or whose first name starts with J. So let's write the question out. Find all customers which or whose, let's use whose first name starts with J. All right. Yeah, so this finds pattern. Your like clause finds pattern for you. It doesn't find the exact value. So you're asked to find customers which first name starts with J. What you're going to do is to enter your command, right? Your select. I'm just going to type out all the commands first. Where, all right, so go back to our select. What do we want to select? We want to select first name, right? First underscore name. How is it spelled here exactly, right? We also want to search for, okay, the question is just first name, so leave it at that. Then from what table? What's the name of our table? It's customer, right? And then where what? You're going to type where first underscore name like in quotes. Remember when you're looking for something that's in text, you need to put that inside your one quote, right? Yeah. So the question says find all customers whose first name starts with J. So you're going to type J. Let's use the capital J because our names here starts with the first letter in capital letter, right? So J, we are going to use our wildcards. So for like clause, we have wildcards, all right? And this particular wildcard is your dollar sign. It means any number of characters, all right? So it does not have a limitation. This particular wildcard, this is your percentage rather, your percentage wildcard does not have limitation. So you want to look for name that that is like J. So let's go. Let's run this. Yes, so you can see the name starts with J, right? And you can see so many letters after J. All right, so this J is before the wildcard. That means the person's name must start with J. All right, and let's say we want the person name to end with J. All you need to do is to bring this wildcard, this percentage in front of J, right? Bring it in front of J before J and then run it. So it's going to show you names that ends with J. So we don't have any name that ends with J, right? So you understand the idea behind this particular wildcard, right? Yes. So we have two specific kind of wildcards. Yeah, we have the underscore and we have the percentage wildcards that works with your like. It works with your like. All right. So I'm going to try the other wildcard. All right. These are the two main wildcards that we need to know as beginners. So we have this dollar sign. Let me just type this out here. It's not dollar, your percentage sign, right? This is a wildcard, right? Any number of characters, it will show you any number of characters. It shows any number of characters. It doesn't have limitation. And we also have the underscore. Let me put that in brackets. We have the underscore wildcard, right? This one selects. It only shows you exactly, it shows you exactly one character, just one. It shows exactly one character. Now let's see how this underscore works, right? I want to find names that start with J and end with N. So this is the question. Find first name, or just say, let's say find names that starts with J, ends with N, and only one letter in between. So you should know that for this particular question or for this particular problem, you need to use your underscore wildcard. All right. So let's go. First of all, we enter our language as SQL understand, which is a select clause, from clause, right? So let's type that out first. Where, perfect. So what do you want to select? I want to select first name. First underscore name. We also want to from what table, from customer table, where what, where first underscore name, like, okay, we are going to put that in our one quote, right? We're going to type one quote, J underscore N. Now what this means that we only want to find one exact letter in between these two letters. Just that's what this underscore does. You only want one exact letter. It's not like your percentage wildcard. No, your percentage wildcard will show you so many letters in between J and N, but your underscore will only show you one exact letter. All right, so let's make column to show that we are done with this particular question, and let's run it. So we don't have any spelling in our first name. That's why you cannot say anything here. All right, because we only want to see, you know, a name that starts with J and ends with N, but only have one character or one letter in between. All right, but if we, like for instance, had a name that starts with J and one character in between and ends with N, then it's this particular query is going to return names like Jan, it's going to return names like Jen, it's going to return names like John, Jon. It will not return John. No, because John has more than one character in between J and N. Are you getting it now? Yeah, so now let's compare this with percent wildcard. Yes, let's compare this now. All we're going to do is click on our, select from where. So we want to select first name, exactly the way it is spelled in our table, first underscore name. We also want to select from customer table where what, where first underscore name, like, in your one quote, like J, right? So type your J and put your percent wildcard and type your N. And yeah, let's enter our semicolon to show that we are done with this question, and let's run it. Or let's use a small letter N. Let's see if this will work. Yes, so can you see now? We have more than one letter in between J and N. So your percentage wildcard allows any number of characters. So names like John, John, name like Jason, Jason, and name like Jonathan will appear. That's the difference between using your percent wildcard and your underscore wildcard. Your percent wildcard shows you more than one character in that particular name, as long as it starts with the J and the N, and your underscore wildcard shows you just one exact letter in between the two, in between what you have typed out, in between your J and your N, right? So now let's combine what we learned last class with today's lesson. So let's run this particular question. Let's first of all enter our language, select from where. So we want to first of all select first name, first underscore name. We want to select email. Remember, we have email column in our customer table, right? So from what table? From customer, and then where what? We want to first of all um filter name, where name like, let's say the name starts with A. So we are going to type A and use our what? Our percent wildcard, right? And then we also want to use or, our logical function, which is or we want to see either there's a name that starts with A, right? Or there's a name that starts with B. That's what we want to solve right now. So we're going to use our or first underscore name like, in one quote, like B, right? So anybody's name can start with A and shows you any amount of letters after A. This is what this means. That's why our percent is after our letter, is after our A and after our B. That means the person's name must start with B, all right, and have so many letters afterwards. And the person's name must start with A and have so many letters afterwards. This is what it means. So if you're bringing this percent wildcard before B, that means the person's name ends with B. All right, so you need to get this right. The person's name ends with B. That's when you bring your percent wildcard in front before B. But right now, we want to see a name that starts with A and have so many characters afterwards. That's why we placed our wildcard, our percent wildcard after. All right, so that being said, let's enter our double quotes to run this. Yes, now you can see first name that starts with B, right? Barbara. Your percent wildcards does not say B and just one exact letter. No, it can have multiple letters. Are you getting it now? So you can see your name A that has so many letters afterwards. So this is what it means. So if you want to see it, you want to bring this wildcard now in front of A, that's up before A, right? We are going to see name that ends with A and ends with B. So let's run this again. Yeah, so there's no name that ends with B and there's no name that ends with A. All right. So this particular query, let me take this back. Yeah, so this particular query finds customers which name starts with A or B. Are you getting it now? Yeah, so this query finds customers which name starts with A, A or B. So a very real use case is filtering emails. So let's filter our email, the column. We have this email column right here. So let's filter this. How are we going to filter this? So we'll just enter our usual language as SQL understands. Select from where. So what do you want to select? We want to select, first of all, we want to see first underscore name and we also want to see email. We want to select from what table? From customer table. And where what? Where email. This is where your like comes in. Like, for instance, you have a column that have different email, email, like for instance they have like at yahoo.com, they have like at gmail.com, they have at several mail, right? So you want to see just the one that have Gmail at the end. So what are you going to use? You're going to use in your one quote, you're going to type your wildcard. What wildcard? Remember, your like clause works with two kinds of wildcard: your underscore wildcard and your percent wildcard. So we want to see like an email column that has Gmail at the end. So we are going to enter our percent wildcard first and type Gmail. Close with your percent. This will find all the customers using Gmail address. Do you get it? So let's run this. So semicolon. So while we have our Gmail in between our percent wildcard, you have the wildcard before and also after Gmail. It means that you want to see a column, or you want to see information that contains Gmail. That means there are letters before Gmail and there are also letters after Gmail. That's why you have your percent in front and at the back of Gmail. Are you getting it now? So let's highlight to run this query. So we don't have. You have to go back to see our Gmail. If our Gmail have let's go back. Let's run this particular query again. Let's see our Gmail ends and start with. So we don't have any Gmail here. We only have at circularcustomer.org. Okay, we don't have any Gmail in our text. There's no Gmail at all. Do you get it? There's no Gmail. So that's why our query didn't show any results. So let's run this back. So this finds all customers using Gmail addresses. Do you get it now? Yeah. So before we end this, here's a small challenge for you. I'd like you to, this is a question for you. Find customers whose first name ends with A, and also find names that starts with M, right? And have exactly 4 letters. Yeah. So if you understand the like clause and wildcards, you can already search text like a pro in SQL, right? In our next class, we'll move into between, order by, and limits. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching Data Next with Angie. I'm going to be seeing you in our next class. Bye.